Cancer, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for late October 2025. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know, I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business, as usual, as I put my palette down and start you off here with an oracle card, just so we could see what's in the energy. We're going to dip our paintbrushes and see what's happening for the lovely Cancer Collective. I hope you're all doing fabulous and fantastic, my friends. Let's get it going here. My guide spirit team, talk to me. What do we got for the beautiful Cancer Collective in late October? And my friends, as you can see, I am fully in the holiday spirit. Kyle Ross, aka Bob Ross, is back like he never left. So let's get you one tarot card here just real quick. Then we'll get into the full reading itself. Then we'll get into the full tarot reading. And at the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot just to see whether it's something within you or something you don't quite see. But let's get it going here. Let's rock and see what we got for Cancer in late October. Let's get this card out nice and quick for you, my friends. We're going to paint a beautiful, energetic picture today. I have a good feeling about it. Okay, there we go. Ask and you shall receive. Okay, so this is an extremely logical type of energy. It is mentally sharp. So it could deal with a lot of things dealing with the mindset or the mind itself. So there's a lot of layers to it. And I know the image might look a little nonsensical, but in reality, when we look at the deeper layers, there's like a strong sharpness. It reminds me of the Ace of Swords. Now, before we fully dive into that, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the October subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. And also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, you know, I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, back into the reading. Let's talk about this guy. So as you can see, we have this monkey. He's kind of looking at a skull, contemplating life, dressed up in that Shakespearean era suit. He's got the typewriter. There's all sorts of binary code in the background. So when I see this, I mean, of course, it makes me think of intelligence and logic. So for a lot of you now would be a great time to feed yourself information. There's a lot of stuff here about the mind and how sharp it could be. This is a great card for strategy and planning as well. So for a lot of cancers in this time, either feed the mind, feed the brain, or plan. That's like the biggest thing here, because this is super, super sharp. Now, since it does remind me of the Ace of Swords, there could be something around communication coming in. But to me, it's like, you know, you might be seeing something very clearly. Even if you haven't recently, when this shows up, it's like there's nothing that's going to get past you, Cancer, when this card is here. So we're just going to put that monkey down right there. He could keep contemplating life. Let's get into tarot. And yeah, I always say that first card, it doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a little footnote. So let's get you 3 tarot cards in the upright. Then we'll get into that intuitive juiciness. Let's shuffle it up one time here for Cancer in late October. But yeah, while we get this deck shuffled up and ready to go, let's talk about last week's reading. It was titled A Surprising Talk. So again, the communication energy showed up. So whether it was a conversation you weren't expecting to have, or a conversation with somebody you weren't expecting to speak with, that energy could bleed over for a couple of weeks. So keep that in mind, especially since it's already showing up prominently already. But we're going to see what shows up this week. As you know, energy is very fluid, never set in stone. So only take this how it hits for you, because we could be seeing your vibe or somebody else, right? Let's get it going. 3 cards for Cancer, late October. Let's get it going. So I wonder what costume you guys are wearing this Halloween. Let me know. Okay, 10 of Wands. It's a little heavy. It's determined. I don't dislike it, that's for sure, but usually I like an action card. I like swift energy to start us off. Let's get one more, or 2 more, pardon me. What do we got for Cancer? Okay, 3 swords. What's happening, Cancer? What is happening? And again, if this isn't you, it could be somebody else, but these energies are pretty heavy. Hopefully I'm brightening your day with the Kyle Ross. Okay, so the energy does improve. That's one thing I do like here on the back end. We do have the 6 of Pentacles where the energy seems to open up quite a bit. So let's go through. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes, and we'll get into that juicy, intuitive stuff. But at first look, first glance, we have a nice distribution of elements showing up here. We have fire, which is the realm of passion, drive, desire, action. It's linked to vitality as well. So your energy levels, are you feeling up? You feeling a little down? The only downside with fire, especially next to an air card, is that it could be a little volatile, a little explosive. I've seen this in your energy in recent weeks, but we're not going to worry about it just yet. Moving to the center, we have the 3 of Swords. That's an air element, so the logical mind, very similar to that early card we got, where it deals with logical processes and taking in information and communication. These are all things that are showing up here a lot in your reading this week. Then we have the earthy energy right here on the back, which actually you work very well with. So when we see earth, that represents the material aspects of life. So think about work, business, finance, investments, home and living, family. It's the world that we live in. So we do have different things. These could all be different aspects and different things going on in life. But we also want to see how they all play together, because it seems to start off a little heavy, but it does get good. It does get better. There's like this karmic energy back there as well. So let's go through this piece by piece and really start to build it out. Position number one, the 10 of Wands. Now you see that individual, they're right there. They have that whole big bundle of wands and they're carrying them. Now the good thing about this card, it's great for determination, where it's like when there's a will, there's a way. When I decide something, I'm going to do it. And that's what this person's doing. They're like, you know what? I'm not quitting no matter what. Sometimes this card could pop up, yeah, when there's problems or situations you're dealing with that aren't the easiest to deal with. That's the rough side of it, the heaviness. And I know cancers are very keen on feeling the energy of themselves and others around them. So when we see the 10 wands, just make sure you're protecting yourself energetically too, because there's a heaviness, whether it's a mental heaviness, an emotional heaviness, a physical heaviness. You want to watch your physical health and well-being when this card is here. And for some of you, you might be holding tension in your neck, back, and spine. That's the area of the body that this links to for me. So it's just something to keep in mind, and we'll see whether it's a good one or whether it's a rough one. But the fact that it is next to another challenge card means that, all right, well, maybe it's not easy. But, you know, in life, there's a lot of things that I wouldn't classify as easy, right? Um, as we get him by this amethyst, we move over to the Three of Swords, one of the more iconic images in the whole entire tarot deck. You see the three swords cutting through the heart. We couldn't have painted it up any better, right? See it on images, you see it on keychains, art. It's really cool looking, but it's a difficult energy to deal with. Now, the one thing I always say about the Three of Swords, it's on a spectrum. It's not always worst case scenario. Sometimes it could be something small. Maybe you just have a couple of off days. Maybe you're feeling a little grumpy. Maybe you're a little on edge. It could be all those things, but at the same time, it can also be heartbreak. It could also be pain. It could also be very difficult situations. So when we see the 10 of Wands with the Three of Swords, it's like this energy is lingering, if that makes sense. So we'll look at it further. Now, the reason I'm very optimistic, and you know me, I'm an optimist, as we get this Three of Swords back there in the center, the back end, we end off with a very positive, flowy type of energy and card. We got the Six of Pentacles, and we see that individual just giving away the pentacles to other people. This is a huge card of assistance. It's very charitable. When it comes to work, money, and finances, this is great. It's about increase and just money flowing in, flowing really well. Um, it could be, if we're linking it to relationships, it's like, I want to give energy to this. It could be wanting to give energy to a project. So again, it's silky smooth, easy flowing, easy going. So we really like the Six of Pentacles. The issue with this card is sometimes you could give too much, right? Or you could be a little too nice. So make sure you don't overextend yourself. That's very important when this card shows up, because that's the challenging aspect. But another thing with this card, it does have the scales. So I think of it as karmic. We could think of situations involving fairness. Like, is this fair? Is this balanced? Are you giving too much? Is someone giving too little? So we do want to look at those archetypes as we move along, but I like how it looks compared to the other stuff, that's for sure. So let's get him tucked in right there. Yeah, Cancer. I want to dive deeper on all of this, my friends. Let's do it. Let's jump in and clarify. Okay, let's get a good shuffle here for you. And yeah, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot, because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. Let's go in on that 10 of Wands. And yeah, if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages you want to give to Cancer, you can drop it in the comments. I don't mind at all. That is the joy of tarot, my friends. Let's get it going with that 10 of Wands. Let's see. What is happening here? Okay. So, and again, this is where the energy seems to do a split, because for some of you, this is really good. It's like very dedicated, where it's like, you know what? I don't care if it's hard. I don't care if it's easy. I am committed to this. Like, there's a really good aspect of that here as well. But at the same time, you really need to watch your empathy and your energetic sensitivity in this time, because there could be somebody in your sphere that might be making things a little bit more difficult, whether it's things for yourself or things for a situation. When I see the 10 wands with the lovers, it's obviously not a perfect energy or a perfect connection, but to me it's like, but man, it's just so heavy. I don't want to quit, I don't want to give up, but this person's making it really difficult on me. It's not easy. um, Now, this is also very healing too. So you see what I mean? The energy diverges. You might be dealing with a problem person, or I don't like putting labels like that on it. Like someone that's just making something more difficult, more problematic. So whether it's a situation or a problem, we're just going to have to look into it deeper as we move along. But the lovers, aside from Gemini, aside from soul ties, twin flames, all that good stuff, when we see it, it's a card of healing. Notice it has the Archangel Raphael, which connects to healing. So when we have the 10 of Wands with this, it's like slowly but surely something will get better. So if there is a connection or something that's been bothering you and lingering in the energy, it's like the energy's not gone yet, but it could be healing slowly. But we're just going to keep moving. So again, we do have a problem or a situation identified, but to me, it doesn't feel like it's coming from you, if that makes sense. I mean, listen, if you're the cross watcher, you apply it to your story. However, I'm not calling anyone out. No judgment here. But we're going to move over to the Three of Swords. But in the good sense, this is commitment, right? 10 of Wands, lovers in the upright. Like, even when it gets hard, like, I don't care if it's not perfect. I don't care if it's, even when things are tough, I'm here. Let's go in on the Three of Swords. I know Cancers are very caring individuals, not flaky normally. But let's see what's up with the Three of Swords. Okay. Four of Pentacles in reverse underneath this. Now, when we're talking about financial things, I love the Four of Pentacles. When we're talking about emotional things, not so much. This to me feels like somebody that could be upset about something that had, like, from ancient history. Okay, and again, no judgment here. But when I see the Four of Pentacles in reverse under the Three of Swords, it does feel a little mad. It does feel a little grudgy. It feels like something that's already happened, and it's like, I can't let it go, or I haven't dealt with it yet. Like, the energy feels pretty pissed to me. Instead of like crying into one's pillow, it feels angry. So just know, if you're dealing with any issues right now, you might be quicker to anger than you are to sadness, which is a little odd. Now, the Four of Pentacles, you see this person, even in reverse, they're clinging on to something, right? Like, they're not budging, they're not moving. So I do see movement in the energy. That's a good thing with what we saw here, and we have the Four of Pentacles in reverse. But there is something that somebody is not over yet. So whether it's you, whether it's something that happened months ago, a year ago, 5 years ago. Like, when I see this energy, it's something that happened a long time ago, or something that's already happened, and I still feel it. I still feel it. It still bothers me. So whether it is the situation we were talking about or the problem we were talking about, to me, it's still lingering. Okay, like, when you have an argument with somebody about something current and they bring up something from like years ago, it feels like that, and it feels kind of pissed, it feels mad. But let's keep moving. We're not going to linger there. We're going to look at the Six of Pentacles, but either way, the energy is starting to free up and get better. It just feels ingrained. It feels heavily ingrained. Let's see what the Six of Pentacles has, then we'll do a quick recap before we get into the shadow. So why is the Six of Pentacles here, please? Thank you. Okay. So we have the moon. So more of this like hidden, suppressed type of energy here. I think somebody absolutely needs to get this emotion out one way or another. Because the moon to me is one of your cards. A lot of readers do link this to you. They link it to Pisces as well. The moon is very shrouded. It's very subtle. It's very quiet. And, sometimes when there's issues or things going on, you're like, I don't want to say anything because it's only going to make it worse. That's kind of how this feels here, but I don't think that's the right move. I think if there is something bothering you, whether it's new or whether it's old, you need some sort of place to put it. You can't like suppress it. This is most definitely like an emotional warning where spirit's like, listen, if you keep suppressing something, or if this person keeps pushing down, pushing down, pushing down, at some point it's going to erupt. The emotion, the energy, it's going to be an emotional explosion of some sort. So to me, spirit's like, listen, find a place to put it. So whether it's through creative means, whether it's literally speaking to someone and getting something off your chest and saying, this bothers me and this is why it bothers me, I'm hoping that clarity can be found. That's how this feels. So there's some choppiness here, but the good thing, the silver lining, is that I do see progress. I do see progress, especially with the Six of Pentacles and the Moon. This could be a heart to heart. This could be a conversation where, like, maybe you didn't realize how affected somebody was by something, or maybe somebody doesn't know how affected you are by something. It could go either way, right? But this energy needs to go somewhere. It can't stay inside. So we do have that emotional eruption or explosion type of energy. So let's go through and do a quick recap because there's a lot of layers here for your reading this week, Cancer. So if you kindly look in the box, position number one, we have the Ten of Wands with the Lovers in the upright. In the good sense, this is somebody that doesn't want to quit, doesn't want to give up on someone or something, but at the same time, I do feel a potential individual that could be making something a lot harder than it needs to be. That's just how it feels. I don't want to call them a problem person or anything like that. It just feels like they're making it more difficult than it could be, but I do not see quit, and that is a good thing. Moving to the middle, we have the Three of Swords with the Four of Pentacles in reverse. This feels kind of mad. And it doesn't even necessarily have to be something that's new. This could be something where it's like they've been hanging on to this one for a while. And again, no judgment if that's you. Like, we heal things on our own timeline. But yeah, with the Three of Swords and the Four of Pentacles, someone is not over it. They're not over something. Moving to the back end, and the anger is there. The Six of Pentacles with the Moon in the upright. So the energy has to go somewhere, or it does risk an emotional explosion of some sort. So whether that's speaking and talking with somebody or expression of some sort, you can't just bottle the energy in, and neither should the person if it's not you. But again, I do see resolution. That's a good thing. And you might not see the road, you might not see how you're going to get there, but with what I'm seeing, it will go there one way or another. I do see resolution. So please take a screenshot if you want to look into it further. Let's see what's in the shadows. Okay, let's get a good shuffle here for Cancer. And yeah, I always like to pull one shadow card at the very end just to see whether it's something within you or something you don't quite see. Shadow cards don't always have to be a challenge, they could be a good thing too. So let's get you one. And yeah, if you made it to this point in the reading, please feel free to check out channel memberships. I'll put a link for it in the comments below. It's a beautiful way to support the channel. I have much love for all my channel members. They're the ones that help pick out the costumes. So let's get it going here. What do we have for Cancer in the shadows, please? Thank you. Okay. So the Three of Cups can be good. And I've been saying it since the very beginning that there's an energy of like really strong empathy and watching the energy of those you're connected to, because when we see the Three of Cups, it represents our circle of influence. And with the Lovers and all this other stuff, there could be a lot of emotions you're feeling that aren't necessarily yours to feel. Okay, and same could go if you're a cross watcher. The good thing about the Three of Cups, it's usually a card of reuniting. It's a card of celebrating, enjoying oneself. So there's a nice leisure energy to this, but at the same time, this energy can overdo it. Watch out for any pleasure of the flesh. Watch out for just overdoing it with anything, really, when this card is here, because it's like, oh, I'm having fun, but the fun can cross a line when this card is in the mix. And just, yeah, watch out with the energy that you're absorbing, the people in your circle, because this card could definitely illustrate that. So we are going to leave it at that, my beautiful Cancer friends. That's what I have for you this week. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give you the details. The October subscriber surprise. If you would like further insight on your situation and book a personal reading with me, you could check out my digital calendar on my website, mastermetaphysics.com. The October schedule is up there and it's filling up quick. So if you want to have a little chat, go over there and check it out. But for the October subscriber surprise, I'm giving away 3 copies of one of the most stunning decks I've ever experienced, the Star Tarot. So if you'd like to get your name in for that, it's 2 simple things, as always, my friends. First, you must be subscribed. And second, let me know down in the comments. Since last month, I asked everybody which zodiac sign they get along best with. This month, out of all the zodiac signs, which one do you clash with a little bit there? Drop it down in the comments. You'll be entered to win. And the winners will be announced in the community tab. As always, my friends, much love, and I'll see you soon.